Welcome to Biblical Prepping. I'm Judith Garton. This is the spiritual portion, and I'm here today again to talk to you about the pendulum. I mentioned before about Shabbat, and I feel that was my strongest argument using a pendulum swing. I'm going to try again. Let's go a little bit deeper into that. Okay, the pendulum swing is one side is legalism. The other side is basically an open free-for-all. It's when people tell you, oh, so you believe this. And when you say, no, I don't believe that, I'm more balanced, I believe more like, oh, well, then you believe this. Perfect example, worry and fear. Okay, I talked to you about snakes and the snake issue when I talked to you about life and death in the tongue. Okay, life and death in the tongue, that is a big one when it comes to the pendulum swing. So let me start with the snakes. Okay, I can either be fearful and worrisome and so afraid that I don't go out at all. I don't go in the woods. I don't garden. I don't. Or I can go outside and say, snakes, I don't care. And I can just walk wherever, whenever, not paying attention, not being protected, go out there in flip-flops, whatever. I actually like to wear flip-flops, but if I'm going out to work in the yard, and if the grass is high in any way, I definitely go out there with thick rubber boots on. Are they the perfect snake protection? No, but I prefer to wear them. I also wear jeans. I don't wear shorts very often outside because of where we live. Mainly, there is the potential here for copperheads and rattlesnakes, and they have been seen by my neighbors. And I have said before, I've not seen them here. I smelled one once. People said because I smelled cucumber under my front walkway, it might have been a copperhead, and I never saw one. Don't care, but I do make sure that I go outside with protection, and I sing, I make noise because snakes don't like noise. So I'm praying that they go as far away from me as possible. So I can either be legalistic and say, oh, I can't. Or I can be open, free for all. I can be somewhere in the middle where I find my happy balance on the pendulum swing. And I tend to be on almost all topics free for all. Yeah, I just said that out loud. I tend to be on all topics, somewhere in between. I want to be in that balance area, that balance zone where the pendulum is swinging down here, calm and quiet, not bam up there and not bam up there. Another one, life and death in the tongue. I've met people in my life who, in the Word of Faith movement, are those kinds of people who will tell you, don't say that out loud. Oh my gosh, don't say that. You're going to bring death on yourself. You're going to bring sickness on yourself. Jim has had experiences too where he was attending a healing school and people were that way. So you can have that, the legalistic side, or you can have the free-for-all. The free-for-all side and the life and death in the tongue. The other side of this aspect is if you don't believe in the word of faith at all, and God makes his promises in the Bible, and that's where the happy balance comes. You have to read those promises, those scriptures. You have to be familiar with them. You know, a big one is healing. A lot of people don't believe that healing takes place. I'm trying to look for a particular. We have a sweet lady on the war room. Her name is Gail, and I have yet to see a time when she posts a prayer request or a praise report that she does not include a scripture. And I love how she comes up with ones that I have not paid attention to in the past. She included one on a prayer request this week. So you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. Exodus 23:25. That's a promise from God that he will take the sickness away. That is a healing promise. The one that we all remember is by the stripes Yeshua bore, we are healed. That's in Isaiah and it's in the New Testament. 2 testaments where he tells us Those stripes Jesus took, they're for us. They are for our healing. Whether it's emotional, whether it is physical. So when it comes to pendulum swings, are you going to be the person who stands out here and says God doesn't heal? Are you going to be the person who is over here who says life and death is in the tongue? Oh, don't say that. Perfect example. One of those colloquialisms we all use here in the United States, or often use. I'm so sick and tired of. It means frustration. I am so frustrated with. But if you say I am so sick and tired in front of someone who's in that legalistic pendulum swing where they are doing that, oh, don't say that, you're going to drop dead. Legalism. You're going to run into people like that. I have. You can either believe that you are literally sick and literally tired, exhausted, and sometimes we are, or you can believe that you're just frustrated. You're just frustrated. I know, I'm frustrated. So we either believe life and death in the tongue is literal with every word we speak, or we don't believe God heals, or we can believe what he teaches in his word, that he does heal, but that if we focus too much on doubt and fear, because Jesus said, we can move mountains if we do not doubt. Now in Torah for Women, I had started a series of things where I was talking about what doubt is. So I'm gonna work on that and refine those again and get back on track with those, and I'll be sharing those with you here as well. But in the meantime, don't fall prey to the pendulum swing. Don't be the legalistic, and don't be the free-for-all. Find the balance, whether it is worry and fear, whether it is life and death in the tongue, whether it is your Shabbat, whether it is other topics like wearing a tzitzit or wearing a cross, and that's a topic for another day. So on that note, I'm going to leave you hanging. Blessings and shalom.